Instant ramen, a symbol of the grind, the struggle, and the I'll get through this mindset. But in this kitchen, it's not survival. It's a statement, a vibe, a quirky way to say, look how relatable I am. That's the thing about today's world. Poverty has become an aesthetic, one the wealthy love to play with. But here's the kicker. It's only cool if you're rich. Let's start with Kanye West. Kanye's house is the epitome of minimalism, designed with Belgian artist Axel Vervoort. It's intentionally barren. Think white walls, natural light, and a whole lot of emptiness. The message? I'm so creative. I don't need material distractions. But don't be fooled. This isn't frugality. It's intentional wealth signaling. The emptiness says, I could fill this place with gold-plated furniture, but I'm too evolved for that. And let's not forget, Kanye's bank account can back up the aesthetic. Kanye didn't invent this. Steve Jobs was the OG minimalist billionaire. His black turtleneck and jeans weren't just a wardrobe choice, they were a statement. Jobs famously said he wanted to avoid decision fatigue. By wearing the same thing every day, he could focus all his energy on innovation. Admirable, right? But here's what they don't show you. Jobs also commissioned a $138 million yacht designed by Philippe Starck. His simplicity was real, but it was only one piece of a much bigger, wealthier picture. Enter Mark Zuckerberg, the tech world's king of casual billionaire. The hoodie, the plain gray t-shirt, the sneakers, it's all part of his brand. Zuckerberg claims he dresses this way to save mental energy, just like Jobs. But let's be honest, when you're worth over $100 billion, dressing down isn't about simplicity, it's about relatability. And the irony? His relatability is anything but relatable. Zuckerberg's wardrobe screams, I'm just like you, while his wealth says, no, I'm not. Then there's Keanu Reeves. Keanu is different. He rides the subway, donates millions to cancer research, and famously gave up part of his Matrix salary to support crew members. Keanu's simplicity doesn't feel calculated. It feels real. But even for Keanu, there's a safety net. He's not riding the subway because he has to. He's riding it because he wants to. That's the key difference. Let's talk about Elon Musk. Musk loves to remind people that he started from the bottom. He shared stories about living on $1 a day in college, eating bulk hot dogs and oranges to survive. It's a classic underdog narrative, one that adds to his mystique as the guy who's now building rockets and reshaping industries. But here's the thing. Once you're worth $250 billion, those stories feel less like humble beginnings and more like PR strategy. Musk's current reality couldn't be further from the struggles he loves to reference. And then there's Shia LaBeouf, Hollywood's master of the struggling artist persona. He's all about the unpolished aesthetic. Thrift store clothes, scruffy beard, even going barefoot in public. It's raw, it's gritty, and it's compelling. But let's not forget, Shia's bank account tells a different story. He's not couch surfing anymore. The struggle, it's curated. And when the cameras are off, there's a designer suit waiting in the wings. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. For the wealthy, poverty is an aesthetic, a lifestyle they can try on and take off whenever they want. But for millions of people, it's not a vibe. It's working 2 jobs to keep the lights on. It's skipping meals so your kids can eat. It's a harsh reality with no escape hatch. That's the difference. For the rich, struggle is a costume. That cup of ramen? It's not a meal. It's a message. But for the rest of us, ramen isn't about minimalism. It's about making it through the week. And let's not forget how dangerous this narrative can be. When billionaires glamorize poverty, they make it seem like something you can just overcome with grit and determination. But for most people, poverty isn't a choice. It's a system designed to keep them struggling. This isn't a new phenomenon. During the Great Depression, poverty was a brutal reality for millions of Americans. But by the 1960s and 1970s, peasant chic became a trend. Wealthy elites, dressed in rustic, simple clothing, to project an air of authenticity. It wasn't about solidarity. It was about style. Sound familiar? Today's influencers have turned frugality into a brand. Minimalist decor, unbranded clothes, and "look how little I spend" posts dominate social media. But here's the catch. Behind every minimalist influencer is a trust fund, a sponsorship deal, or a six-figure paycheck. Here's the real story. The people who face these challenges every day and still refuse to give up. The single parents working overtime, the students hustling for a better future, the communities coming together to lift each other up. That's where the real inspiration lies. Not in billionaires pretending to struggle, but in everyday people overcoming impossible odds. So, the next time you see a billionaire in a hoodie or an influencer talking about their humble lifestyle, ask yourself, is this authenticity or just a performance? Because poverty isn't cool, it's hard, and for most people, it's not something they can escape. What do you think?